Welcome to the Eden Army podcast. Now, I gave Snoop the night off tonight, so I hope you guys enjoyed the little bit of a different intro there. Snoop's starting to get expensive, so I had to give him the night off, I think. But tonight's show, and I'm not even going to lie to you, I'm not prepared for tonight's show. I have not kept up with the news because we've had a lot of other stuff going on. I don't know if you guys heard, but I got that first book in that second series done, and that's going off to edit. And we've been editing the Audible version of 3 Days to Eden, and we're going to preview a little bit of that tonight. But most importantly, tonight's show is you guys cueing me in on what I've missed this week. So tell me what I've missed this week in the news. Tell me what's happening in the world outside of the North 40 Writing Shack, so I can get up to date. But I promise you're going to want to stay tuned to this show because we are going to give away our subscriber giveaway. And we had a visit yesterday from a gentleman named Joe Niemeyer, and I didn't even know. I'd seen him around the forums, and I've seen him around Facebook and stuff like that, but I didn't even realize he was an author, and he lives about an hour and a half away from the North 40 Writing Shack. So we have a couple of giveaways from him, signed copies of his first two books, and we also have an option, instead of taking a signed copy of the book, to get Audible versions if you'd rather. So that's going to go to our subscribers over on kick.com. So if you're not a subscriber over there, you're going to have about a half hour to get to subscribing, and we'll put you in for that drawing. Looks like we got, let me see who's in the house today here. Of course, Terry, Russ, Meta. Hey, Meta, how you doing? Will made it. You guys stick around because we're going to do our subscriber giveaway. And if you're not here as a subscriber, we're going on to the next one. Sorry, folks, but we have a lot of cool stuff. And we're also going to, like I said, we're going to preview and tell me what you think of some of these snippets that Mr. Chris Ennis has done for us on Audible. So with that, with no further ado, let's bring in Russ. Russ, come on in. Since I don't really have much news-wise, let's just shoot the crap for a little while and see what's going on in Kick. Meta, good to see you. What's going on, Larry? Kelly? Rev made it. Rev, you made it on time. Good job, bub.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Looks like we got the usual suspects in there. Dan's in the house.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Dan made it? Good.
That's
Chris made it.
Dan, DP.
No, that's Chris.
Oh, that's Chris. Okay.
Yeah. So hopefully Dan made it because he's a subscriber. Sandy finally made it in. Good job, Magnum 333.
Welcome. Exactly.
Yeah. Welcome, Sandy. Goes by Magnum 333. Suspected of what?
Kelly, with you, there's no telling.
Yeah, there's really no idea. Now it's been a busy week for me, guys. I did 2 podcasts. I was on the Mountain Readiness podcast. I was on Angry Americans podcast last night, so I'm sure you saw those things bump on because we weren't really expecting to be live last night, but we were. I figure if I'm going to do it on his show, we might as well do it also here on Kick. So we certainly do that. Yeah, it happens once everything goes, and Russ probably will have a little bit of a bad connection also. We've got thunderstorms running through the area right now, so Russ, I didn't tell you today. I got a warning from X saying that they had flagged my account, but I don't know exactly what got flagged. So maybe it's because I was talking so much shit about his Starlink, and he just got mad at me. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, you never can tell. We haven't been. I mean, you were last night on Chris's podcast. I mean, I don't know if Chris has got flagged or not. It might have been from the podcast. I didn't really catch anything that you posted.
There you go. There goes Elon Musk.
Week.
He's censoring Russ out right now. Yeah, Russ is Russ is in Never Never Land, unfortunately. So he's actually out in the RV, and he's got to go through 2 layers of metal buildings to pick up on my Wi-Fi. So
And I have
there it is.
I have 2 bars.
Yeah, it comes and goes.
But
Yeah, no, Larry, it would be one thing. Larry says so much for free. It's one thing. Just tell me what I got flagged for. It's not that I'm going to stop. I'm going to keep on doing it, of course, but at least I know what buttons I can push. And I don't put too much stake in X or Facebook or YouTube anyway, so I don't really worry about that too much. So Russ, what do you say we dive right into giving a couple? Let's give the first snippet. What do you guys say? You want the first snippet of Chris Ennis's book of 3 Days to Eden? I'll give you just a minute or a 30-second snippet. Let me see if I can pull that up real quick. Let's do this. Let's add this guy to the stage right here.
Yeah.
As you can see, he's got all the chapters done, and we're going through now and just tweaking them a little bit. But let's see what he does with chapter 11 here.
Looks like the volume was too low, Pete. You still there, Pete?
Yep, I got you. Sorry, guys.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm trying to get you couldn't hear that?
No, nobody could hear it.
Okay, let's fix this. Also share system audio. Remember that little option?
Ah, yes. Let's try that again.
Let's try that. Sorry, guys.
Chapter 11, Mission. I woke up to the smell of pungent cigar smoke. As my eyes cracked open, I could see the old man a mere 3 or 4 inches from my face, and he had that wide Cheshire cat smile on his face. "Good morning, Snowflake," the old man said, trying to mimic the Good Morning Vietnam movie. It sounded horrible with his thick southern accent. He took a long pull from the cigar and blew another puff of smoke in my face. "Damn it, what time do you wake up, and why are you so close to me?" I asked between.
That's just a little snippet right there of Mr. Ennis's chapter 11. If you guys read the book, you probably are familiar with that scene where he first meets the Navy SEALs. So that's just a little snippet. We're ironing a few things out. So looking good. Agnes says, "I'm looking good in white." Thank you. Appreciate that. So he's got pretty good. I mean, the guy he's an actor, so he really nails some stuff. There's a few things we need to tweak a little bit, but we'll get it done. Bullshit, how you doing? Good to see you. Javi, good to see you.
Javi in the house. Yep, that one was pretty good.
Yeah, that one, I liked that one. I told him to do just a couple changes in it, but I certainly did like it. So what's been going on in the news? Russ, what have you heard in the news? Now, I mentioned the other night on Chris's podcast that there's scuttlebutt going around that the Biden administration leaked the names of some of the Mossad agents that either may or may not have participated in the killing of that Hamas guy in Tehran. Now, Chris did bring up a good point. He says, look, if they're Mossad guys, even the Americans aren't going to know who they are. Maybe not, but maybe to save face with Iran, they gave up the names of some of the Mossad agents, whether they were involved or not. I don't know. I wouldn't put it by them. So, Rev says Omar won her primary in Minnesota.
And the one thing the biggest thing that I saw today when I looked at X was they're saying that Trump's going to be sentenced on the 18th of September, which is oddly convenient. But we'll have to wait and see how that plays out.
We'll see how that goes. And plus, now there's scuttlebutt about the monkey COVID AIDS / pox thing, whatever the hell it is going around, just in time to stop people from showing up in person for an election, right? Because look, most of the people that show up in person are typically right of center people, right? So if they can keep them away from showing up at the polls, well, haven't they succeeded in cheating on this election? I suppose. He did
Christy,
read it.
I don't get scared that easy, and Javi doesn't scare me.
You can hang them off the side of a mountain. I need to know.
Bigger and better have tried to scare me, Christy, and no, not gonna happen.
So Rev says she won the run her primary in the same way Franken did. Yeah, well, look, when you allow immigration into your city from Somalia, and then you run a radically left Somalian person to sit in that seat, then guess what? That's what's going to happen. That's what people say. Oh, immigration is not such a big deal, or we should bring all these people in. No, they're padding the books. They're padding the books for upcoming elections. And not only, and I mentioned this on Chris's podcast last night, forget elections. These people count toward the census, which gives certain parties more seats in each congressional district. So it's so devious. It's so interesting. But Absolutely. Who cares? Let it all burn down as long as we're prepared for it. Who cares? Yeah. Where do you live, Sandy? She says immigration people are all over here. Don't go to town alone.
Yeah, you don't have to be specific, Sandy. Just general location. Interesting.
PA. That is interesting. My buddy Scott Ennis is over there on Facebook. That's no relation to Chris Ennis, who's the narrator, but Scott's a good buddy of mine from my high school days, actually. Scott, you need to get over at Kick. I'm going to give you that link because we only do about a half hour on the communist socialist platforms, and then we primarily do the rest of the show over at kick.com. So there you go. Posted that up there. What is
there you go.
All snow? Yeah, Sandy says a bunch of snowflakes in PA. I agree with you.
Well,
what else is in the news?
Trump said the other day that he's actually going to go back up to PA, go to the same spot, and do another rally. I heard that the other day. That's awesome.
The man's got brass balls.
He does, man. I was just getting ready to say that.
Will says Will's poking fun. He says, "How's Fetterman treating y'all?" And here's the deal about Fetterman. When did he become the sane voice of the Democratic Party? He's the only one right now making sense. So look, maybe they should all get strokes. I don't know, but he's the only one making sense in the Democratic Party right now.
I know, right?
It's insane to me.
The only reason he's making sense is he's the only one talking. Because we haven't heard one word in public from, Camel Toe, and we don't know if Biden is still alive. Yeah, no telling. Look, they don't want her to speak at all because every time she opens her mouth,
She sounds like an idiot. Yeah, Terry, I did see that. Did you see that, Russ, where a Secret Service agent was on post for a Trump rally, another Trump rally, and she decided just to walk off and begin breastfeeding her newborn son? Just walk right off post.
No, I did not see that. And
Yeah. Now, and I don't like, look, I know DEI is the new N word. I heard it. The Democrats told me. If you say DEI hire, that's the new N word. You're a racist. That's a perfect example of a DEI hire right there. That's what you get. That is what you get. The Secret Service needs to be the brightest and sharpest and most well-trained organization in our country. And due to DEI, this is what we're getting. Someone who thinks they can leave their post and just go ahead and breastfeed. I mean, look, I get it. You have to breastfeed, but let's.
You shouldn't be on post.
Yeah,
you shouldn't
exactly.
be on post.
Exactly.
I'm sorry. I mean, even in in my time in the military, if we had a young lady that had a kid, she was given her maternity leave, and then she went back to work, and that's what they make. I mean, try not to offend anyone, but if you're in a job that requires you to be alert, on duty, standing a guard like that, that's what breast pumps are for. Either that,
yeah, exactly.
And I'm sure Secret Service has a pretty good maternity leave program.
Did you also trust that there was a hack on a few systems today? One of them being the EBT system in the United States. So those people couldn't use their EBT card. If you want to divide America, if you want to see real civil unrest, look here, Iranians, Pakis. I'm gonna give you the playbook right now. Hack it, hack the EBT system and hack it for a long time, because we have so many people that are reliant on that system, and the areas they are from, they're going to take to the streets and they will burn it down. So there's the plan right there. Go ahead, keep hacking it. And you want to see America with a vast amount of civil unrest? There you go. Bullshit says, is Harris going to be in the basement campaign? Yeah, I know. She's hiding, isn't she?
Yeah. So I did a quick Google search, and they can get up to 30 days of advanced sick leave for an employer's own illness, injury, pregnancy, childbirth, etc., plus 12 weeks of maternity leave.
Yeah. Take a day off. Take care of your newborn.
That's 4 months.
Yeah. Terry, those, if you know anything about the dark web, all of our social security numbers are on there right now. If you haven't been hacked yet, that just means they have other people that they're hacking. All of our information is on there, and it all goes to the highest bidder.
Absolutely.
Well,
and you going to answer Diana, or do you want me to?
Is that Koala?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, not only that, not only does Harris taking credit for what Biden has done. Well, look, all of a sudden now she just had this grand idea. She had a great idea the other day. It came right to her, top of her head. She's like, she had never, like, it's so amazing. She says, hey, we're not going to tax tips. I heard that 4 weeks ago from Donald J. Trump. That's what I got. I actually have a screenshot of what CBS posted when Donald Trump said that. I'm going to pull it up. Go ahead, Russ.
And not to mention, when they put that in, when Biden had that bill going before Congress, it was a 50-50 split, and she was the one that passed it.
Yeah.
To tax the tips. You can't make this shit up.
They're pieces of work. Let me see how I can do this real quick. Yeah, so CBS, when Donald Trump said that exact same thing, let me get to it. Sorry, guys, I told you I was not prepared tonight.
Yeah, it's my fault.
Yeah, well, Russ signed us up for a 20-bar poker run because he had never done one. I had never done one, but you have 3 days to get the 20 bars to get your thing stamped. So, of course, 7 o'clock this morning, he's knocking on my door. Come on. That alerted the dog. But yeah, so look at this. Look at this, Russ. I'll leave this up for a little bit. CBS News. Kamala Harris is rolling out this new policy position, saying she'll fight to end taxes on tips for service and hospitality workers. That's great. Okay, that was on 8/12. When former President Donald Trump did it, he vows to stop taxing tips, and that would cost the federal government up to $250 billion over 10 years, according to a nonpartisan Watchdog group. You cannot make this stuff up. I mean, honestly. And if you think that the media is unbiased, if you think that, then that's why so many people are turning to podcasts, are turning to X, are turning to places like this, because we're actually calling them out on this kind of stuff.
Exactly. So
yes,
I have
Christy,
a question.
that was the dogs, Christy. Yeah.
I have a question. So I know you listened to bits and pieces of the Trump interview on X with Elon, and Teresa and I listened to it, and I know a lot of people have. But if you go to X, you see a lot of people saying, "Well, he needs to make sure he gives knee pads the same opportunity."
Yeah.
So, how big of a shit show do you think that one would be?
Oh, first of all, she would never. She is not like Trump. Trump will go, well, look, he went to the African American Journalist Conference and he spoke there where he was treated like shit. She won't go. She's afraid to even debate away from CNN or CBS or MSNBC. So and I don't understand how people are frankly falling for this again. And I don't understand how minorities are falling for this whole Democratic ideology. The Democrats have kept them down for years and years and years, decades, right? And if you really want to get particular about it, hundreds, over 100 years they've been keeping them down because they were behind bringing. Anyway, I'm not going to say that. We haven't moved yet.
No. But I mean, it's just it's amazing. And if you guys, X seems to be the new town square, for a better way of putting it, to getting good getting news of any sort. You're going to see all sides of the story, and there are a lot of African Americans out there that are on X now saying, "Heck no, I ain't voting for it." Yeah,
they just got to get out and vote, man. That's the thing. That's the thing.
Yeah,
and
what it'll be this time is they'll lose that free ride. You're not going to vote for us, well, then we're not going to give you a ride.
Yeah, they won't send buses around to the neighborhoods and picking them up and driving them to the polling stations. It's and that's it. That's the other thing that we need to remember is no matter what the polls say. First of all, we can't trust them. But I don't care if they say Trump is up 15 points. We have to get out and vote. We have to get out.
Absolutely.
What did Magna? What did Sandy say up here about? Let me. She says Walmart. Yeah, and you see all the immigrants using food stamp cards and EBT cards. Yeah, sure, absolutely. I love when they're using their EBT card and they go out and load the groceries into their Lexus or BMW. That really gets under my skin a little bit.
It does. Bloodline Guns.
That's my buddy.
You are.
That's my buddy, Mr. Nelson, who owns a company who hopefully we're going to have him on next week, Russ.
Oh, okay.
To promote his Bloodline Ballistics company that he has. He's a former military. He's an active first responder, and he's following his passion for hunting and firearms in general and started his own business, which is really cool. And he's going to hook us up with a promo code too. He doesn't know that yet, but he is going to. And he does. He does something, and I can't talk about it yet. But he does something really interesting that I'd never considered. But he does a raffle for certain things. So much like the board that we're on for Red Rock, we have 100
Yeah.
squares. So he does a raffle for certain things that we all might be interested in. Oh, so he's on vacation. Okay. So I was going to have him on tonight, but he said he was on duty. But he took, was it a planned vacation, Paul, or did you just kind of start coughing and do one of those vacation days?
That's funny. Wait.
Let's roll. Let me pull up.
You want to do another clip?
Yeah, let's do another clip here. Chapter 21 started at 5:39. Let's go ahead and bring this up onto the stage. There you go. Chapter 21, 5:39.
Plan was solid. You can't expect someone to have a contingency plan for every little hiccup. He paused, taking another swig of water, nearly finishing the bottle. But you're wrong. He definitely has plan B. Melissa gave him a curious look. Pat finished the last sip of water in the bottle, then tossed it off the porch. Sawyer saw the bottle flying through the air and couldn't contain himself. He gracefully leapt off the porch, eagerly retrieving the empty bottle and rushing it back to Pat. It had been a while since he'd had any playtime with his humans. What's plan B then? Melissa asked. Pat fought with Sawyer, trying to pry the empty plastic bottle out of the dog's tight grip. Finally breaking it free, he looked up at Melissa and said, I am.
I like it. I don't know. I dig it. You're muted. I got you. No, you're muted on your end.
That was awesome. That was awesome.
I dig it, right? He's doing a great job. We're, like I said, we're tweaking a few things, but man.
There you go. Voice is easy to listen to. I agree, Will. I'm not much of the podcast or an Audible guy. I'm finding Chris's voice easy to listen to.
Yeah, and he's getting some pretty good. He's getting some good character voices in. So hopefully he sticks with it and gets it going. I'm digging it. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the process, but it is time consuming, which is why I'm not prepared at all for this podcast tonight. But I am preparing to get this stuff out for you guys. So it's good stuff. Yeah, we talked about that, Christy. He didn't want the girls in Eden Army. He said, listen, this guy can't talk. His voice can't sound condescending when he's doing female voices. So he, when he did the audition, they were almost there. And I go, look, man, if you sound like you did in the audition, the girls in the Eden Army they're gonna lose their shit, and I'm gonna have to deal with them. So we need to tighten that up a little bit. So
absolutely. Besides, he had to deal with Tiny during the audition too. So
yeah, it's funny too because during the let me pull that up. The dedication actually. During the dedication, he does something that I told him he has to fix, or Tiny's going to fire him. So let me go to the dedication and pull this up here.
Dedication. To my sweet daughter, Brianna, I wrote this book for you. When you came into my life, you made me a stronger man. You gave me the strength to open up and take chances when others doubted me. When I'm gone and your memories about me begin to fade, all you have to do is reach up on your bookshelf and flip through these pages, knowing every last word written on these sheets were for you. You are and always will be my rock. Love, Dad.
So sounds great, right? I was like, I have no issues with it. Sounds awesome, Lost Rust. But if anybody knows Tiny Tooch, she hates being called Brianna. So don't worry, baby girl. I am getting that taken care of. I promise. So I got choked. Christy says, I'm not crying. You're crying. I get a little choked up when I heard that the first time too. Yeah. Kelly, that's me and Russ had actually talked about that. Kelly says he wants to do one book at a time instead of doing a box set right off the bat, and we're going to do one book at a time. Plus, I mean, that way we can get them out and let it happen. So, did you like that, baby girl? Cheese Doodle's in the house, so I don't know if she heard that or not, but hopefully she did. You're right. It's not. I know. I told him. I said, listen. That was the first thing. When I heard that, I let him keep going for a little while, and then I let him get about 20 chapters, and I said, "Here, man, we need to go back to the dedication real quick. It's only 50 seconds, and you need to fix this because if my kid hears that, we're all fired." So, Will says, "Get a little choked up there." Oh, here he comes. He's coming back. I got him back. There we go. Yeah, it's the Wi-Fi, bub. Yeah, did you hear the Brianna? Did you hear the other clips? Hopefully you did.
Hey, Tiny.
If not, I downloaded them all and I'll send them to you, kiddo. So that's that. So here's what we're gonna do. All right, good to see you, Paul. Paul, if you want to be on the show next week and talk about that stuff you do, get a hold of me because I'd love to have you on and talk about your business. Brianna, I just saw your new name.
What'd she say? Oh, you don't like that, Tiny?
So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take an intermission. We're going to get rid of the communist socialist platforms. And then we're going to come back right after intermission. As soon as those two other platforms drop us, just roll right into the giveaway video. You guys aren't going to want to miss that. And this giveaway, I'm not going to tell you, it's a one of a kind. This book is a one of a kind. Now, look, I'm sure Joe has signed a lot of books. There's no doubt in my mind. He's a nice guy. He signed a lot of books. But I can promise you, I'm not going to give it away yet, but this is a one of a kind Eden Army book that you will never, ever get anywhere. So right after this, we're going to drop Facebook and YouTube. We'll go primarily on Kick. We'll get primed up for our giveaway, and we'll see you guys on the other side.